you or I chase you to appear on Spoon Talk. We're happy to have you today to discuss very important issue concerning our country, Liberia, especially the House of Representatives. So for
you didn't like
so for everything, I understand in everything we have thousands of people listen to us. People want to know the way forward. It's no secret. The House of Representatives divided, and yet we are today speaking to the speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spoon Talk. Let's have a great show. Honorable Speaker, it is all yours, please. You have your time to properly introduce yourself to your folks home and abroad, and the reason why we are here today, sir.
Oh, based on the fact that it's a special interview, I am Koffa. I am the Speaker of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. I'm a lawyer by training with a Juris Doctorate and a second-term lawmaker in the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you very much, Honorable Koffa. Let's get into the conversation. A few weeks ago, we've been hearing rumors about divided house. Folks on the other side, members of your body, the House of Representatives, some of we said to this show on our network that they're asking for you to be removed. Here we are today, the 22nd of October, we saw the divided house. Your group, 30, the opposition, 43. If the records are correct, sir, the Liberian people like to hear from you. What's the way forward?
Okay, first let's understand the numbers. It was 30 in our session. It was 35 in theirs. They started off with 42, and when they did their count, their actual count, not the count of absences, they had 35. Yes, we do have a divided house, but it is still one body. The lawmakers are still comrades. They are still individuals who have their country at heart. I think we have a little bit of disagreement that has been exacerbated for one reason or another with some individuals at play. But I think at the end of the day, those same lawmakers, you see them coming together as if to say you never saw what happened a week or two ago.
Honorable Speaker, what's the hope? How can you inspire Liberian believing and thinking that this way forward, as per the previous speaker, Edwin Bevan Snow, who is senator right now, Alex Stado, who is senator right now, that this will end in the same situation, sir? Can you speak to those?
It's not going to end up in the same situation, but let's understand one thing. Neither Tyler nor Snow was removed. To remove a speaker, it takes 49 votes and a resolution of members of the House. Honorable Tyler resigned, Honorable Snow resigned. That is the political aspect of it. In order for you to get to the removal of a speaker, there are two cardinal things you have to do. You have to do a legal part and then a political part. The legal part is the procedure that you get to making a political decision, which is the decision to remove. And all along the way, our courts have said procedures must be respected.
Honorable Speaker, if everything we are hearing as media, institution, and folks out there following this great story for today, sir, will you resign at the end if you do not have the numbers to bring about quorum? Will you resign?
No, it's not a question of me resigning. If they have the 49, they will remove me. Anything other than the 49, I'm the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia.
But will you resign if you do not have the number to run the business of the House?
No, it is not. The Constitution provides for that. The numbers are available. I can compel members to come to session. I can compel members to come to work. And that's what I intend to do.
And if you compel members to come to work, are you going to the court? Can you give us a different step, the different scenario in your arsenal as to what you would do next? Because today, adjourned because there was no quorum. We come on Thursday. What's the next step for the Liberian people, sir?
Okay, so today we asked the Sergeant at Arms to go to the various offices and session per our rules. If they escalate Thursday and don't come to work, then we will likely ask the court to compel them. And that's where we think most members will not want to be lawless. They will abide by the precepts of the code. Because at the end of the day, what is established is the plenary of the House of Representatives is the Speaker, or in his absence, the Deputy Speaker presiding over the membership, 37 of which constitutes a quorum. There is no provision in our rules for something called majority block or any other business. Whatever group meeting elsewhere without the Speaker or the Deputy Speaker is a meeting under the Free Association article of our Constitution, not under the articles governing the House of Representatives as it conducts business. So we have to move from the issue of members having meetings during session and come to session. If you want to remove the Speaker, you come to session with your 49 votes and you rock and roll. Going elsewhere and calling yourself a majority bloc and pretending to conduct business is not our constitutional order, and it will be resisted.
Can the Supreme Court demand your colleagues to return to the duty of the House?
Honor, madams, the Supreme Court can mandate them to go to work and do the people's business, yes.
If they refuse?
Can also, what if they refuse to put us into our constitutional practice? The Supreme Court got its own mandate and its own precepts and its own relief for orders taken by the Supreme Court that is not obeyed. But I don't believe that the colleagues I know, even though they are instigated by a crafty few, I don't believe they will resort to disobeying the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. They are honorable men and women.
If they, for any reason, say we are not coming on Thursday, we are not coming on next week Tuesday, Honorable Speaker, how long can this fight continue, sir?
It will go on as long as necessary to have a quorum. You have to understand, the budget gets here. That's the Liberian people's business. In about a week or two from the president's office, we have to deal with the budget. Today, I received from the president zoning laws for the Republic of Liberia. We have a waterway problem here. We have floodplain problems here. We have to tend to how we zone, especially in the Monrovia area, in the age of global warming. Those are things we have to tend to. Before I left to go to Rome, I had 3 letters from the president submitting other bills. So we have the Liberian people business to do. They didn't send them to no majority block because the president understands and the executive branch understands what the law is. So we are here, we are in session, we come to session every time session is called until the majority of our colleagues, we can convince them that we have a quorum and proceed with the business. The first item of business to be a petition to remove the speaker. You bring your 49 signatures, and I promise you, it will be the first item of business, and I will recuse myself while you are conducting the business of trying to remove the speaker. Other than that, come to work, come to session, let's do the people's work.
Honorable Speaker, thank you again for joining us today. We are so happy to have you. Our next question will focus on the way forward. You are saying, come, let's do the people's work. If they submit the budget October 31st, you guys are about to go on break. Coming back will be the state of the nation. If the opposition to you hold the ground and say, we are not coming, Honorable, can we have you on the record? Will you see this through 2025?
I'm not sure when you say will I see it through.
That is to say you will remain the speaker. That is to say you will remain.
Resignation is not. Let me be clear. Resignation is not an option.
Thank you.
Okay? Resignation is not an option. The option here available to the members will be the removal of the speaker. Get it for the 9 signatures. Let's rock and roll.
Thank you very much. You have answered the magical question that a lot of folks posted onto me that resignation is not an option for you. My next question, how solid is your block? Are you adding or are you concerned about some deflectors, sir?
This is the mistake that is being made. I don't have a block. I'm the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. They need 49. If you notice, in all that is going on, there are no different meetings going on here on this side of the aisle. There's nothing going on trying to do his work. We're not going camping. We're not doing any of those things because we are in governance mode. Okay? So I'm not going to talk about how large is my block. I'm talking about the idea that we need 37 persons to get a quorum. Okay.
Yeah, but
not every of the 30 persons that came to session today are supporters of mine.
Thank you very much.
But every member of the 30 persons that came to session today are lawmakers who genuinely want to do the Liberian people's business.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, can you also help us and let's discuss the issue about the story about 15,000, 10,000. Now LDCC have taken seats of this matter. Can you speak to that, please?
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, but I wish we would have handled it the way we generally handle it in the House. On our meet, it was my hope that is kept with among the members, so that we can iron it out in a way that all members are respected. Unfortunately, in this age of social media, someone gets something, it's immediately put up, and everybody and thousands of people seen it. I think it was unfortunate, but now that the LACC have decided to investigate, we are here. I don't think we should be embarrassing each other. I don't think we should be casting aspersions on each other, but an investigation is now underway, and I will hold any additional comments on the video and what transpired, or who took money and who didn't take money. I have not asked that question, and I respect all members, and I think it's unfortunate to the LACC.
So do you believe that there was a bribery allegation to remove you, sir?
Do I believe that bribery happened?
Yes, sir.
No, I don't want to characterize my belief based on information. I can say there's allegation out there, and I don't think I should prejudice any investigation going on by giving an opinion one way or the other. But I respect my colleagues, and all of them that have come and said that they didn't take money, I think I owe it to them to say I believe them. But I am not the investigator, and the investigator, which is the LACC, is doing their work.
Folks are saying, Honorable Speaker, that you should be negotiating. You should speak like the father. You should speak as a leader. You answer them. Are you negotiating quietly in the back? If you're allowed to say this on the show tonight.
Oh, I'm allowed to reach out to a number of members. I have had other members reaching out to people. I have had, you wouldn't be surprised, I have had some respectable people in society who have called me and say we're reaching out to members, and they're not saying to them, you keep the speaker. They're saying you sit down and dialogue. Okay, but at the very least, you go to session. If you have problems, resolve it the way the Constitution says you should resolve it, either by different decisions, but don't make the country by turning a two-tier process, which is a legal and then a political process, into one big political process because you want to ignore the rules. Well, we are reaching out, and I think at the end of the day, more members than not are going to succumb to the idea that let's go the legal way, let's file our complaints, and then we'll go the political way and do whatever removal calls for.
You were with the president in Rome. You met the Pope. Have you had a discussion with the president concerning this issue, sir?
Let me address this one, because you just threw me a curveball. I got to address it. I'm a Catholic. So when I received the invitation to go meet the Pope, it was an opportunity of a lifetime. Let me set the stage for you, my mental state. Imagine the day before going to meet the Pope, people are calling in Monrovia and telling me, you better jump on the plane and come around. My response was, I'm going to see that Pope. I'm going to see the Pope. I don't know if I will ever have an opportunity to see him again. I'm going to kiss the ring of the fisherman. Okay? I'm going to see the successor to St. Peter. And it was, for me as a Catholic, one of the greatest moments of my life. And at that point, job didn't matter. So we saw the Pope. And it was an experience, and I'm blessed because of that. What was your question? If I talk to the president?
Yeah, have you spoken to the president on the group that tried to unseat you, sir?
I have not spoken to the president. I did not bring that matter up to the president when we were in Rome, and since we got home, I have not seen the president.
Do you think it will be unnecessary the president intervene? directly or indirectly?
Well, we have three branches of government. At the point that you can swipe any branch into any political branch, because the executive and the legislature are political branches, into the affairs, especially of the first branch of government, you run it down a slippery slope. So I think we have the capacity under the constitutional rules of the House of Representatives to resolve, and we should. I don't think it's necessary to invite presidential intervention.
Majority of the members are trying to remove you. They are from Unity Party. So do you think it can only be necessary if the leader, the political leader of the Unity Party step in, not as a president or the party chairman?
Okay, so when you're talking about I haven't looked at who belongs who there. But when you're talking about going to do the political thing to talk to the political to do that, I think it's a governance issue. I'm not sure it's a political issue to the extent that it is. It will sort itself out once we follow the procedures and laws set down on complaints and removal of the speaker.
Honorable Speaker, the members are trying to remove you, came up with 6 major counts. I want us to get to it because the program will be for only 1 hour. We are almost, we to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have your question for the speaker, post your question. I will read some of the questions to the speaker. My question to you, can you help Liberians understand today the different counts on the resolution that was read against you, reason why they want to remove you? Can we start with count 1, sir? Count 1 saying that you have a consultancy relationship. You also have you represented them legally as well. You or your firm representing those guys, other entity like LPRC, National Port Authority, RIA, Asalamita, Western Cluster, B Mountain, so many of them. We can go down Citibank Trust. Do you have any relationship?
It's here. So I will enter into evidence at the point of trial my 2016 asset declaration and my 2024 asset declaration. I divested out of IRG in 2016 when I became Minister of State. I severed all relationship with them in 2023. I may miss the date a little bit, I'm sorry. When I became Deputy Speaker, I have not entered a courtroom. I have not represented a client since 2016 when I became Minister. Now, the issue here is, do I tell the law firm, the men and women that took it over, shut it down because perpetually people are going to tie me to it? No, I can't. So I went back and I asked the firm for the list of their clients. And you'll be surprised that this count is based on poor research, and it's more of a subterfuge of what the real reason is. I'm trying to go down the list of things they say I represent. What's the complaint?
I can go down the list, sir, if you don't mind.
Go down there. I got it right now.
Okay.
I got it right now. So I inquired of the law firm. The retainer with Liberian Petroleum Refinery. They've had that, I think, for 3 years or so. That's what they said. The last time the law firm represented Liberian Maritime Authority was in 2016. They have not had a relationship with them since that. They have never represented the National Fisheries Authority. They have never represented the Liberian Telecommunications Authority. They have never represented NASCO. Central Savings and Loan Bank is a private business that I divested in 2023 when I became Speaker. They do have a retainer relationship with the central bank, and I think that has been for 3 years, is what they said. They have never represented Rabat International Airport. They have never represented the National Port Authority. They have never represented the National Oil Company of Liberia. They do have a relationship with B Mountain Company. They have never represented the Western clusters. They don't put these things in there to just throw it to make it look big. But you didn't even do the fundamental research. All these institutions have managing directors, have employees that they can verify. So you didn't even do the minimum verification to find my not the money, where I sat down with a lawmaker, with this as a lawyer, consultant. It just has not happened. So this is not true, and this is not correct. Why is it this way? Let me tell you this. When the 55th came in, I was proud to be elected as the speaker of some of those new members, because they told me, "Look, Speaker, we don't want to do business as usual. We want to be an independent body. We don't want all this corruption, everything going around the legislature all the time. We want, at the end of our 6 years, we should be respected so we can be re-elected." But what happened, Stanton? We're in a difficult environment where the Liberian people impose on the lawmaker a very tough task. If you're the lawmaker, you got to be the person who provide the medical care, you have to pay the rent, and you have to pay the other things. And that has constraints on the lawmaker. What happens with the lawmaker and his post salary and his hustle? You know what people tell them? You know, at this point, you got to begin to compromise the integrity you came here with, because people will come, especially some of my colleagues, the crafty ones from the 54, we can't tell you how to make money. Okay? These individuals gave me a mandate, say, "Speaker, make us different." So I'm managing this change because I know my colleagues from the 54, the veterans who understand when the budget comes, "Speaker, before we test the budget, go tell the president that you will give us X amount of millions of dollars." No, I'm not going to do that. Speaker, we have even an example. Okay, and all of this I'll be able to provide concrete. Where lawmaker comes to me and says, "Speaker, we have these 9 presidential bills. We are negotiating with the Ministry of State for $150,000 to pass these bills." I called the minister and said, "Don't pay them." And I told my colleagues, do not ask these executive branch agencies for money. When you start doing that, they will not respect you. Okay. You're doing oversight. You go to a private business. Say, "Oh, we came to do X, Y, and Z." Okay, but you gave us 25 of that will be for the speaker. You know, we want this money because the speaker has to have a share. If they call me, what do you want me to say? Yes, give it to them. No, I'm going to say
those are members from. Excuse me, Mr. Speaker.
Wait, hold on. My colleagues have told me they want to be different. And I'm preventing all these things in this time of hardship for a lot of members. A lot of people are not going to be able to stand up to it. I admire all of them. When we ever put up this resistance, they come and say, "Okay, Speaker, you know you're right." And then they are the manipulators, the veterans, who come and say, "You're sitting down here. When we pass budget, each one of us can get $150,000. When the pressure came, I said, "Okay, you know what? What we do, I don't want us to take money out of the budget and put it in our pocket as income. What I want us to do, let's do these legislative projects. Let's do less." Okay? That way, the public can see the projects and the public can see the money trail that is auditable. Okay? That is the compromise we try to set with them. But also the executive is not helpful in these matters. Okay? Because we put $100,000 in the budget, you don't want to make the $100,000 available to the lawmaker. So when the lawmaker will say, "The speaker fool us. The speaker fool us." And so all of these pit of frustration, you get a few people who want to manipulate this process for their own personal gain, play into these lawmakers. You will see, when you see that resolution, it's so very funny. Okay? I asked one of the lawmakers, "But boss man, okay, the reason why this other person signed the resolution is because he accused you of taking money that was for the committee from one business, and you ate it all. So how can you and he sign the resolution at the same time when this is the issue?" So there is a lot of manipulation going on on that resolution, and with a lot of our new members who genuinely want to do good for their citizens.
The only thing I'm saying on our live,
so
Mr.
All of my answers that I give you to this count number 1, I didn't represent any of those companies except as stated.
You have not been benefiting, or you have not, since you enter into the House of Representatives from your entity relating to those entities, right?
No, I divested my shares. No, I have not.
And you said you did that 2016.
Correct.
Okay, so from 2016 up to now, you have not received anything directly or indirectly.
No, okay, so when I divested my shares, They owe me my shares were worth about $2 million.
Not your share. I'm talking about other benefit that may come thereafter.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right. Are you still, just real quick, are you still with the Lavelle Maritime? You didn't mention that though.
No, I didn't mention. I said we haven't represented Maritime since 2016.
With the LISCA?
I'm not with LISCA. I'm not LISCA lawyers.
Okay. Thank you very much. Folks just needed clarity on that. Can we go to COMP 2? Again, you said a lot of stuff and you cannot call name. I respect that. But a lot of manipulated within the group.
I will call their names. When the complaint reach the floor, I will call their names. I'm just proffering to you this evening what the evidence will show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please share the show. The next con here, I'd love to deal with the CISCON, which of course will cover up our program for tonight. Con 2, that you unilaterally send members to ECOWAS. I think you have it in front of you. Can you speak to this? What do I mean?
It is another subterfuge. Nowhere in the history of this legislature do we members to ECOWAS. ECOWAS has its rules. The House of Representatives of the Republic of Liberia has its rules. Under our rules, the Speaker appoints committees. That is indisputable. And I defy those who tell you, say, we elect to ECOWAS to show you one journal from any of the legislatures that elected members to ECOWAS. Did these people really do a research, or you just throwing things in there because you want sufficient count to say X, Y, Z? They did not think. That's the one thing. They didn't think I was going to have my day in court. They did not think I was going to be given the opportunity to be heard. So they put everything on paper and threw it and have people sign this document. They cannot provide you with evidence that we have elected anybody from ECOWAS. I was within my statutory power provided by me in the rules to appoint those officials, and they are serving well at ECOWAS.
Thank you very much, sir. Can we also discuss the issue as one of the major con in these fundings that you overspend as Deputy Speaker 2022 on your budget from 1.5, 1.6 million to 5-point-something million dollars? Can you please speak to this, sir?
Yes. And this is the reason why, although I committed myself to doing an audit, this is the reason why when the first time I saw this outturn was when the budget was submitted to us. It is not true that any member as was exerted last Sunday came to me to discuss issue of outturn. And I will show you the hypocrisy in a minute. When I saw this, I called my staff. They gave me the evidence of this money movement, and I will produce screenshots and documents to that effect at my trial of how money was moved. So I said, no, I don't want to implicate anyone, but what I will do, we must do the audit. So now they have even extended it to 2022. So we'll be asking the GAC, instead of just 2023 audit, to 2022 and 2023 to see what happened here. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not just going to throw charges. So I just want the public and my colleagues to let's agree that this GAC audit will happen as I amended it. I wanted to see it at the end of 2025. At the end of October. That's what precipitated the fast hurry of spreading this resolution around to prevent it. Okay, I want the audit. There was even testimony on Sunday that I prevented the audit. I want you to call the Auditor General of the Republic of Liberia. When the auditors were changed from here, when I was in the States, the GAC called me because they sent them 31 questions to answer. So one look at those questions, they got scared. They drove the people here from coming to open a shop here. They will call a name to you, did that. They will call a name to you. And we have their testimony, their letter that was written to me as to who drove them from this campus. And ever since we have been trying to negotiate with the few that this audit must happen.
So, my honorable speaker, please allow me on this issue. Sure. Did you, by any means, replace any of your controller from the House of Representatives based on all these preliminary findings?
Never. Which one? No.
Okay, so you are saying that are you calling for audit? Have you called for audit? Are you persistent that there will be audit if you remain speaker for this 50th phase?
I signed the contract, and not only for that, for the first time in post-war Liberia, because I'm not sure before the war that the House of Representatives must be audited. I signed that contract. It was one of my campaign pledges. Okay, we have had difficulty in doing that because we have resistance. Look, Senator, let me tell you, in this place, the resistance to change is monumental in this job. People quickly revert to the way things were done. Let's audit, and then the audit will show us all of our discrepancies, and then we'll set up systems to be able to run this place. That's my crime. So instead of, I can tell you one thing though, I don't have a signature to a bank account. I don't have a check that I signed to an account of the Republic of Liberia. So people want to make it look like I open my drawer, I take one check, or I go to the Ministry of Finance and say, give me one check. I write on the check, I go to the Central Bank, I cash it, and I go away with it. That's not the procedure. But the audit will show what the procedure is and what happened. What I want, because I got some of the answers, and I got some of the screenshots, and I got some of the evidence as how this money was moved and manipulated. Let me give you an example. Because of this, I got concerned that anything happening in my budget, I would like to know. One of my staff elected me, say, Chief, in April this year, say, Chief, you know your budget, you have spent $5.9 million. I said, how? Then I inquired of the Ministry of Finance. They said, oh, no, you know, the House of Representatives cost $2.2 million. We have to run it through your line. The special sitting that the president was supposed to pay for, we didn't have the money, so we ran it through your line. What kind of nonsense is that? I said, they remove it from my line. Because at the end of the day, these same people will come and say, in 3 months.
Can we understand? I'm sorry, we lost you for a second. I think your volume went low. Okay. Can you please repeat what you said about running money through your office and those money never came to you? Can you please repeat, sir?
There is a system where money can be ran through a line, an account, okay, by the people who control the financial system without your knowledge. And I will be able to prove that.
So they ran money through your line, but you didn't receive the money?
No, I don't sign any check. I don't have access to any bank account. I mean, my one weakness in life is I'm not an accountant. I hate financial stuff. Okay, so maybe after I pay more attention, I see how money is being moved in my account. I don't, as I told you, as I said, and maybe the audio didn't pick me up. In April this year, one of my staff members who's responsible for that, I appointed specifically for this reason, came to me and said, Speaker, they got you at $5.9 million in expenditure so far. When we went to look for it, it was $2.2 million for the House of Representatives cars that they ran through my line. It was $1.5 million for the special sitting when the president called us that they ran through my line. So I told them to remove it from there and find someone else to put it in because nobody would be able to explain in the future that I didn't eat $5.9 million. I'm just telling you, it's an example of what happened. And that's why an audit of 2022 and an audit of 2023 happened. And I can tell you though, I can tell you, Senator,
yes, sir.
You would be shocked to know that in 2022, the House of Representatives had an outturn in excess of $30 million. We need to go look in it. Now, let me turn to the individual who's accusing me and say he counseled me on outturns. He was either chair or co-chair of PAC. You know what was his budget in 2022? $678,038,000. You know what was his outturn in 2022? $2.12 billion. This is the hypocrisy of these people. In May, I'm sorry, my staff is telling me I'm a little agitated, so let me slow down. In May of this year, the president signed the budget. In the budget, the Public Accounts Committee has $750,000 in my hand. This is email.
Yes, sir.
The budget was $750,000 in my hand. It's a letter dated July 22nd, 2024, written to be by Mr. Clarence Guy, Honorable, seeking $350,000. So you mean between May and July, you finish eating $750,000, and one report has not yet come to the House of Representatives? That's the hypocrisy of what goes on here. And an audit will be able to show that. An audit will be able to show that.
Are you calling for a systemic audit? What kind of audit are you calling for, sir?
At this point, I think we should do a full-fledged audit. Even though the GAC say there's no system there, so we won't be able to capture it, just come and just look at all the numbers and tell us what. I will just be happy with that.
On this condition, yeah, let me go to the next one real quick. On the account, you call Clarence Guy, actually, the individual that was presiding today for the next block, about the budget alteration, whereas the Speaker, Honorable Koffa, don't understand it as. So can you go to this, please? Did you call him this year requesting the budget and it led to the alteration of the budget?
No, I think maybe you misunderstood what he said, because me and Clarence Guy didn't have anything on the budget alteration. I can just tell you though, that was the first trap. And if I was in Liberia at the time, they would be indicting me on that budget alteration. The budget was altered. They got documentation to that effect. There was an investigation set up, and the investigation exonerated me as much as they wanted to tie me to it. I was not involved in a budget alteration. Again, their own records in the House of Representatives, their own reports. You have your colleagues, and most of the people who are on that budget alteration report is signed their resolution. They are the same people that exonerated me. How can you read a report, say the Speaker they didn't know about the thing, Deputy Chief Clerk, you sign the report, then you turn around and say, in your political resolution, you say the Speaker guilty of that. What sense does this make? Really? Is this the desperation to remove the Speaker so business as usual can begin? That you put in things that are even contradictory to your own behavior? You sign a report. So the Speaker is exonerated. But the Speaker didn't know about it. The Speaker was in the country. The Deputy Chief Clerk did XYZ with the Secretary of Senate. Then you put in your resolution that the Speaker is guilty? What kind of nonsense is this?
What's the lesson learned here, Mr. Speaker? I mean, how can you speak to Mom Mary, Oma and Jala out there, the common people in the country that are so concerned the children will not go to school under this condition, the healthcare system is crumbling very, very fast, and you are the Speaker, they are fighting to remove you. There will be a stalemate, there will be a system in the country that nothing will move whatsoever because of the situation you guys are faced with. What's your message for them?
I would tell Mom Mary, to change Liberia is hard. And it's discouraging. Can you imagine friends and colleagues that I wine and dine with, okay, because they have been convinced that the system they desisted, the system that they don't want to be part of, they must be a part of it in order to make money, signed a resolution. Without the courtesy to look in my face and say, Speaker, this is what you did. I left from this country to go home on a pilgrimage of faith. You go behind my back and you sign a resolution and you run into the chambers to pass it quickly before I came. How? Mom Mary, do you think that is fair? Do you think another speaker will come and sit in this chair and want to change this place? Who wants to be disgraced? Who wants to be chased out of office? Who wants to look at the people who wine and dine with him over the last few months? To sign behind his back and say, oh, he's not giving us no committee assignment. We're not making no money for committee and we're not getting no money, so he must go. What? The shock that I'm still going through. Okay, when I see some of the signatures on that paper, I can tell you, the day J. Koffa exit, if I do, the next speaker will play because nobody wants to go through this center. That's what I would say to Ma'am Mary. I am broken, not of spirit. I'm broken of humanity. And we lack the basic humanity to look our friends in the eye, to look our colleagues in the eye, and say you have done wrong, I will write against you. You wait. And people were calling me, you need to come back quick. Leave that Pope visit alone. The people come and remove you. I told them they can have their job. I am on a mission of faith.
The Honorable J. Fanati Koffa, we got 5 more minutes left with the speaker. We set our time because we must respect the speaker time. Ladies and gentlemen, while you join us, we're going to squeeze in the last 3 questions. Honorable Koffa, do you think that this is political motivated based on the 2029 situation that a lot of people, politicians in the country are faced with? You think you've been a witch hunt because someone wants to eliminate you, for you not to get to 2029? The presidency is in question, political leaders targeting you. Can you talk to us?
I'm not sure that is the case, but if that's the reason they missed the vote, because I'm voting for George Weah in 2029. I'm a member of the CDC. Okay, I'm a Sastan boy mostly. George Weah is a Sastan boy. You will not see 2 Sastan people in the race. You will not see 2 seditionists in the race. So if they were targeting me for that, which I don't know, okay, they missed the boat. You're targeting the wrong person. Okay, so I don't know how to answer that question.
We saw the former president George Weah on the cell phone.
Let me just give you one more example, because this one is so important.
Go ahead.
From this group of veterans who try to manipulate these people. They came to me and said, Mr. Speaker, we need a letter to go to Guinea. Why you need a letter to go to Guinea? Oh, we want to establish a relationship to Guinea, you know. Guinea need friends, and they will give us some money. What? Is that the case? Yes. So I told the chief clerk, go draft a letter to send this delegation to Guinea. She drafted and brought it to me. And then I realized, Stanton, this is beyond my powers and jurisdiction as speaker. The president of Liberia conducts foreign policy. Why would a speaker be dispatching to the head of the military junta in Guinea, a group of lawmakers, to go have discussion? For what? I told them I would not do it. That's my crime.
Someone is asking, this is huge. If you can, I know I have certain limitation here. I mean, I don't want to do photo op because we are running into our time. If you can permit us with another 10 more minutes, because we started the show late, that would be important. I want to talk about the bread and butter issue. I want to talk about some of your accomplishments since becoming a speaker. You care to do that?
Let's do the 10 minutes.
Thank you very much. Since becoming a speaker, I actually honored this 55th this year. What are some of your major accomplishments here?
Stanton, I would say our major accomplishment here is to open up the budget process. Let me tell you how the budget process usually runs, how it ran in the 54th. And I have a Juris Doctorate degree. I'm ashamed to say the budget that President Boyka sent to us in February this year was my first time really going through the budget in the Republic of Liberia. Because usually it used to be on a year or nay vote. But because these 55th members said we're not going to pass anything yet, okay, you saw my own brother one-way letter, a small brother, just asking me, as speaker, we're not going to do business as usual, and I think this is what you're doing. But when this budget came, okay, we opened it up. You know how the budget used to run? They would come, and I don't know if your people can see, you see this huge budget book in my hand?
Right.
We don't read every line. We pass the budget in categories. Then we give it to Ways, Means, and Finance Committee. And on our Ways, Means, and Finance Committee in the 54th, there were usually 3 or 4 guys. You know what they would do with that? They go sit down to Boulevard Palace Hotel in room 1026. And they will shift all these numbers here. They will adjust all these numbers. They will call agencies. They will call our ministries. They will say, we put your budget is $2 million. We're going to make it $3 million. You will give us $1 million, and you can keep the $2 million. We gave you some. That's the negotiation that went on in Boulevard Palace on 1026. And I'm not trying to disparage the hotel. It's an excellent hotel. When my house got burned, that's why I stayed. I got good services there. I'm talking about the truth of the matter. So this is our budget run, okay? And then they have this thing called these shifting tables. It is based on the shifting tables that I don't have the clinic that I thought I was going to have. How can you submit a budget to us, Mr. President, for internal affairs at 20 million? Then we carry up to 25 million. What are the 5 million for? Usually we should be looking to cut budgets. Or if we're going to add 5 million, why not add it to legislative projects since we want to be so generous to the Ministry of Internal Affairs? Okay, these are some of the questions asked. One of our major accomplishments, we have expanded the budget process. We have Waste, Means and Finance looking at it. We have the Public Accounts Committee looking at it. Then within Waste, Means and Finance, there are 2 committees. The Committee on Revenue and the Committee on Expenditure. To open the budget so everybody can see inside. Guess what, Stanton? The people who own those new committees are the people who sign the resolution. Okay? When the same cartel came to me when I requested all budget spending, Mr. Speaker, you know, we saw in their computer the all budget spending, that plenty of money, it's 50 million. But anyway, I think we can forget it if you ask them 2 million. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? That's my crime.
The allegation of other leaders and senators up to the vice president, there are those cartels that beyond this. You'd like to speak to this? Or are you just going to just dismiss those allegations? Do you think that the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, Senator Emmanuel Nukwe, Senator Albert Chair, some other names, Prince Moyi, they are behind your removal?
I'm not going to cast aspersions or dispersions on anyone. Senator Albert Chair and I are from Grand Crew County. He would never be involved in anything like that. Senator Nukwe is a friend of mine. Who else you call?
I call the Vice President Jeremiah Cole.
The Vice President, while we are not friends, but we were colleagues, and now he's the Vice President of the Bureau. You want me to point finger at him? I will not. What I will do when the complaint is lodged, I will present the evidence, and the Liberian people will be able to make their own judgment. But no, I'm not going to sit on your show and accuse people I have no evidence of doing something that I do that has been done. But the evidence, once the investigation is launched, once I take the stand to defend myself, the evidence will lead where it may, and the Liberian people will be the judge.
Let's end the show. Let's end the show.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me tell you something. Change is hard. I remember I was reflecting on the plane coming back from Rome. I said, you know what? Look at William Aratoba. Today, everybody call him one of the most progressive presidents Liberia had. But what happened? When William Aratoba came and was trying to change this country, the conservative Tory party thought he was moving too fast. The progressive thought he was moving too slow. What did we do to him? We killed him. If they moved me, I would just say thank God, because they didn't kill me. Okay? But change in this country is hard. I have taken on the heavy burden, on the mandate of my colleagues from the 55th to say change this place. And I've been trying my best. So now the cartel has convinced them that I'm not working in their interest. And if it's time for me to go to put it 49 signatures, you will not hear a word from me. I have a Juris Doctor degree. I happen to be one of the best lawyers in Liberia. I will live.
The Honorable Speaker, again, with the last 3 minutes we got left, we want to say thank you very much. I was going to ask you about your deputy, Thomas Fala, the accusation, the allegation that he initiated this whole removal. Can you speak to it, please, to satisfy those that are out there that Thomas Fala is involved in your removal? Can you please speak to it?
Okay, because we are members of the same great party. And the party since we're all hearing this rumor, the executive committee convened a meeting yesterday at the party headquarters. I heard the passionate defense of my colleague and brother, Honorable Thomas Fala. He is absolutely innocent of any involvement in whatever is going on. And he has been unfairly castigated for something he knows absolutely nothing about. Get something straight. Fala is a veteran here, so you have friends on all sides. Just because somebody go visit somebody does not mean to say they are in their conspiracy. So no, I do not think that Honorable Thomas Fala was involved.
It's everything they're accusing you of. It's no. One of the most important things, the leadership, the committee chair, they are very concerned hearing from the other side. What are you trying to change? What will you change to bring the other folks in? Have a leadership of inclusion. What do you think you can change to do better, sir?
You are right. So, Senate, let me tell you the difficulty Stanton, the difficulty of what happened. We had a contentious election, right? It was very contentious. So it almost was a situation where, because the leadership positions were few, it was like the victor win the spoils, right? We try our best to balance, okay? But you know, when you're negotiating with a man, and he said, my interest is in the birth committee, it's hard for you to come back after the election and say, oh no, I can't give it to you the birth committee because somebody who voted against me, I gotta accommodate them, right? That's difficult. It's difficult in any situation. They will feel betrayed. But what we are willing to do as we walk into negotiation, I say, look, we realize, people say, Speaker, you're like, you don't care. Sometimes I plead guilty to, okay, police come here, they complain about the fellow police, and maybe sometimes I brush it off. He is guilty of that. Because it seemed cool in office that Speaker going to do that. They will be shaking here and drinking with each other. So sometimes I didn't take it too seriously. But what we are willing to do is that we sit down with all of the members to negotiate. We are willing to tell them, look, we need 49 votes. Let's dissolve all the committees and let's talk about it all over.
Okay.
Let's talk about how we run this place.
Okay, so the last question, we want to say thank you before you do your closing. This will be the last question for the show. Folks, we want to say thank you for joining us. Don't forget, after the speaker leaves, we'll be having post-analysis. The team will be joining us to discuss this. This will be my last question to you, and then we can ask you for your partner statement. The Honorable Speaker of the 55th, Honorable Councillor J. Funati Koffa. Rumors came up today that you are negotiating very strongly to bring folks back, and the allegation that you are spending $40,000 on each member. Can you please use this time to clear the air? Are you spending any money to bring people back?
No, I think you made that one up because I'm just hearing it.
No, I'm going to send you the text message if you allow me.
Okay, so it's
very important that you clear the air. You speak to this, sir.
It's absolutely not true. I'm not going to spend a dime to anybody to tell them to come to work. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to spend a dime to anybody to say, please don't remove me. I'm simply not going to do it. I stand on what I have done. I have not been a perfect speaker. I'm not a perfect speaker. I have made some mistakes. I'm willing to admit that. I'm willing to say I'm sorry. I'm willing to craft a path forward. But to pay you, come on. I don't got that kind of money. So maybe I would be removed. I don't know.
Thank you very much. There's an opportunity given to yourself to clear this because, when these rumors hit the fans, it's hard to retrieve them. We want to say thank you very much, Speaker Koffa. It's always good having you. Please come again, and over hundreds of thousands of Liberians listen to you. You can give us your parting statement. Anywhere we did in touch, it's all yours now. Please.
Stanton Spoon don't like me, so before I walked into this Lions Den tonight, I had all of my advisors say, don't go. He will shred you to pieces.
No.
I'm glad I came. I want to say to the Liberian people, this is not about Funati Koffa. I will not resign. They will have to have 49 votes. But I don't think we will get to that because over the next couple of days, these members that sign resolutions, you will see some of them coming because they love Liberia, because they want to be able to make a difference. You will see them that we have a budget coming. You will see them come when we call them to say, look, let's break bread together. Let's try to resolve this thing. Let's not look so embarrassing to our fellow citizens community. Let's sit down, let's talk. Let's fix it. This legislature, we are a family. You saw when my house got burned, on the night as my house was burning, there were almost 70 lawmakers there. We left from my house. They took me to the hotel. There was another 50. As difficult as it is, things were struggling. They collected 1,000 per person each. And said, Speaker, we don't get much, but sorry for what happened to you. We are family. Yeah, what you saw the last week was embarrassing. I'm hurt by it. I'm sorry to my colleague, Honorable Afala. I will ask my other colleagues to apologize publicly for any involvement in this. But let me tell you something. We're not reaching to 49. We're not reaching to 50. We're not reaching to 100. What we're reaching to is a quorum to do the Liberian people's business. And that quorum, part of it would be whether or not I should stay on as a speaker. I stand on my record. Best, I will continue to do my best. I call on my colleagues, let's return to status quo and let's start the healing process. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It's always good.